It trains your heart, your bones, your muscles, your ability to balance. No high impact. This year, I'm starting a different kind of cardio. The science behind it really surprised me. I'm on a GLP-1, I'm in a calorie deficit, and I'm post-menopausal. This combination can decrease bone loss, muscle loss. You probably think I'm about to say that strength training is the answer, but that's not what this is about. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to do this. So let's get started. If you're new here, hi, I'm Bobby, and if you're returning, welcome back. I'm a therapist and an artist, and I'm sharing my GLP-1 health journey here on YouTube. I am not a medical doctor, I'm not a personal trainer, I'm just sharing what I'm learning and what's working for me. So always talk to your own doctors and healthcare providers when you make decisions for yourself. This different kind of cardio is new to me, but it's not new. It's called rucking, and all that means is walking with weight on a backpack. That's it. No running, no jumping. Like I said, no high impact workouts. This might sound too simple and boring to matter, but stay with me because there are reasons this is the best cardio after menopause. And I'm gonna explain them to you in easy to understand science. I even made a chart. Woo! If you've been on my channel before, you might know that I've been walking with a weighted vest since sometime last year. I have a 10-pound vest. You might be thinking, this sounds really similar. What is the difference? That's what I thought. That's why rucking wasn't really on my radar, because I had this weighted vest and I didn't really think there'd be a difference. But there's a difference. Rucking has some advantages over the weighted vest, and I made this handy chart to talk about the differences because I love making a good chart. So a weighted backpack and a weighted vest both help with bone strength. They're both gonna help your legs be stronger. I definitely feel that with my weighted vest. And whether you're wearing a vest or a backpack, you'll get that extra cardio intensity compared to walking with no weight. And both the vest and the backpack provide low impact cardio compared to running and other high impact stuff. When you wear weight in the backpack instead of the vest, the load is sitting behind you. When you wear a vest, the weight's usually distributed evenly among the front and back, so your center of mass doesn't really change, and your body doesn't have to work as hard to stabilize you. So you get less core and balance training as you do with a weighted backpack. Another advantage to rucking is posture. Because the weight's on a backpack behind you, it encourages your shoulders to come back and your spine moves into like more of an extension. That's a really good posture to be in while walking. It's linked to better spinal stability and a lower risk of chronic back pain, which becomes more common the older we get. Basically the opposite of how we sit so much of the time like slouched over a computer, or I know I do. The vest doesn't really encourage better posture. It places a compression load on the spine, but it doesn't pull the shoulders back. So you miss out on some of the postural benefit with the vest. These differences feel important to me because balance and postural stability are big predictors in fall risk and long-term independence. And like I said, I'm training for my old age. Another advantage I've noticed is that I breathe easier when I'm rucking than with the weighted vest, just because my whole chest is open, there's no weight on it. With the vest, I think without noticing it, I was kind of limiting my intensity because I couldn't breathe as freely and openly. But after saying all of this, a weighted vest is not a bad option. It still improves your leg strength, gives you the cardio intensity, increases your bone mineral density because it's that heavy load, and it's not going to stress your joints out the way that running does. So you know how the best exercise is the one that you'll do? For some people, the weighted vest is what they want to do. It's what they have access to, or it's what they feel more comfortable with, and that's totally okay. A backpack gives you some more benefits, but the best exercise is the one that you'll do. So if you want to do weighted vest, do it. I'm rucking right now. It's in the mid-50s, so not too cold. I've got a fleece on, and I'm wearing my fleece-lined leggings from IUGA. It's my second pair because I love them. They call them army green. They look more like forest green to me, but more on that later because I have a new IUGA haul to show you. Thanks to IUGA for sponsoring part of this video today. Okay, back to rucking. All of this rucking is pretty sweaty and I don't want to do more laundry, so I have 4 new pairs of leggings from IUGA and I'm going to share them with you today. You may know this about me, but IUGA is my favorite brand of exercise clothes. Then I'm going to give you tips for how to start rucking safely. Okay, so these are IUGA's FlexTight high waist denim look capris, and I got them in vibrant blue. I have to say, this shade of blue at least does not look like denim in real life. I'll show you a close-up. It does have denim styling, like these pockets here and pockets here, and then there's contrasted stitching that I'll show you a close-up of. So they're jeans-like, but they're leggings. They're very stretchy, and they do not look like denim in the same way that their jeggings look like denim. I'll put a little picture of me in the jeggings up too to show you the difference. But these are great capris. It's a little too cold outside to wear them outside right now, but I've been wearing them on my walking pad. You can totally ruck on a walking pad or a treadmill. Just have a sweat rag ready. And they have them in different washes. Maybe some of the other ones look more like denim. I don't know. I can't speak to that, but I do like these. I'm not hung up on the fact that they're not like dupe jeans. They just have kind of some fun denim styling, like I said. I got 2 pairs of capris this time. These are the PowerTight sandwich, no front seam leggings. I have these in full length, and I'm glad I tried them out in capris because last year, a pair of capris that I got from IUGA was a little short on me. I'm 5'9", and they came, you know, like below my knee, but like just below my knee. So I sent them to a friend who's shorter, but these come nice and low. See how low they come? And they have all the same features of that PowerTight sandwich legging where there's layers here that kind of suck things in, and there's pockets on both sides. And tag, oops, forgot to take the tag off. So this just kind of like cinches you in, very supportive. This top is a sports bra that I got last year sometime from IUGA. It's one of my favorites. I like the little strappy things on the back. I'll link to that too, even though it's not new. I got a pair of gray leggings that have a new feature that my other leggings don't have, which is a little pocket here. And it's this big. I could fit driver's license, key, even like, you know, my AirPods case in there. So that's nice. These are the FlexTight high waist tummy control leggings with pockets. And this is the first time I'm trying them on. I do have leggings like this with a similar fit, and I like it. I like the tummy control. But yeah, this new little pocket is new for me. And it's my only gray leggings. Totally justified. Okay, these are the HeatLab sandwich waistband fleece lined no front seam leggings. I swear to God, that's their title. They have side pockets. I've got Kleenex and my AirPods here, and then I keep my phone here. I'm filming on my phone right now. The fleece is so cozy. I think I'm just gonna leave these on after I'm done filming for the rest of the day. It's not so cozy that I get overheated indoors, but they are really nice to wear outside when it's cold. I have another pair of these in wine, and yeah, I'm happy with this green pair. Woo! IUGA's having a sale right now, which is 10% off orders of $55 and more, and 15% off orders of $99 or more. You can stack on top of my 25% off discount code. So use the code BOBBY25 to get an extra 25% off of the sale price. I'll put the link in the description and in the first pinned comment down below. The full retail of these leggings are all like $30 and under, so you can get some really good quality workout wear for not very much money. Menopause has really changed how I exercise. I used to run. I've done a couple half marathons. I've done a lot of 5Ks. I did one triathlon. And for the past, I don't know how many years, ever since late perimenopause, I just can't handle it anymore. After menopause, estrogen levels drop. And estrogen plays a really important role in telling bones when to rebuild, repairing and rebuilding muscles, and keeping tendons and connective tissues strong and elastic. All of these things will decline with less estrogen, making us more injury prone and stiffer. And that totally happened to me. It takes me longer to build muscle. I had so many little joint aches and pains that I never used to have in my knees and hips and shoulders. I am on hormone replacement therapy, and that estrogen has helped a lot with those aches and pains. But not everyone can take estrogen. And even though it helps a lot, I still can't go running without having those aches and pains. I've tried. It's not working, and I just decided I'm not going to do it anymore. I think to get the amount of estrogen I would need to be able to like run a half marathon now, I would need to cover my body in estrogen patches, and I don't think my OB will do that for me. Oh, that reminds me. I have to change my patch today. I should do that right now before I forget. I have a new patch on. Yes. Anyway, all of these things that are associated with low estrogen underlie why older women after menopause are more prone to osteoporosis or osteopenia and the muscle loss, which is sarcopenia. And so I've been in that place where I was like, I'll strength train and I'll walk. And that is great. But finding the rucking has been this next level thing where I'm getting some intense cardio, but it's not hurting me. So here's 3 reasons rucking is my new cardio. First one, bone density. Our bones need load to stay strong, and load just means they need to have some kind of impact. It's one reason I'm talking about strength training all the time, is that lifting heavy stuff is another way to keep your bone density up. I strength train 2 or 3 times a week, but what do I do the other days of the week to support my bone health? Until now, it's been walking. Walking is a load. And now it's going to be rucking because I'll get even more loading on my bones than just walking alone. Putting that load on is one of the simplest ways of telling your bones, I need you, stay strong, don't shrink. Second reason that rucking is my new cardio, balance and fall prevention. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury and loss of independence after age 65. I'll be 58 this year. I'm planning ahead. I have a vision of myself as a really strong old lady, and that's what's motivating me to do all this. Stronger bones are less likely to break, but better balance means you're less likely to fall in the first place. So when you wear load in a backpack, the weight sits behind you, and that shifts your center of mass backwards, and your body has to gently fight against that with every step. To stay balanced and upright while you're walking with a weighted backpack on, you're naturally engaging the deep core and spinal stabilizer muscles. It's a really natural core workout. I don't notice it as it's happening. I kind of think of it like each step is a very gentle core workout, but I'm taking thousands of steps versus doing like one really intense plank for a minute. This is spread out over thousands of steps, but it's training exactly the muscles that are needed to be strong to keep your balance. And your balance reflexes are working harder when you're wearing that weighted backpack. And the third reason rucking is my new cardio is strength, specifically functional strength. Rucking improves your knee strength, your ankle strength and resilience, and your hip stability. These are all the functional kinds of abilities that are really important as we age for things like going up and down stairs, walking on uneven ground, and just getting around easily in daily life. It's like the opposite of being frail. I didn't have to think about that when I was younger, and I only have to think about it a little bit now. If you catch yourself when you trip and almost fall, that's your eccentric strength, slowing you down and stopping you. And then when you push yourself back up into balance, that's your concentric strength. So these are opposite types of strength, and they're both important. Okay, how does rucking fit into this, and why am I talking about eccentric and concentric strength? As we age, eccentric strength usually declines faster than concentric strength. And that's important because most falls happen while we're moving downward, not upward. We usually fall down. It is possible to fall up, but we usually fall down. Eccentric strength around the hips is a major factor in fall prevention. And it turns out rucking improves your eccentric braking strength, mostly in the muscles surrounding the hips. So this is why rucking is so effective for aging bodies like mine, because it's training this braking strength with this load repeatedly with low impact. Poor eccentric strength makes it difficult to recover your balance quickly, and poor concentric strength makes it harder to get back up. So I don't want to just make sure that I can get back up if I fall. Help! I want to make sure that I'm less likely to fall by improving my eccentric strength. I'm going to give you some tips now if you want to start rucking. How much weight should you put in the backpack? There's a rule of thumb to start out with 5 to 10% of your body weight. For me, 5 to 10% would be 9 to 18 pounds right now. So I started off at 10 pounds. I put a 10-pound plate in my rucking backpack. Actually, that's not how I started. I put my 10-pound weighted vest into a small backpack, and I wore that on my walking pad to see if it felt any different than the weighted vest and if I liked it, because I didn't want to invest in anything unless I thought this was something, worthwhile. And putting that vest in my backpack, I loved it actually. It felt so much better. My chest felt more open and I felt like I could stand up straighter. I didn't feel so weighed down, even though I had the same amount of weight on. So yeah, just grab a backpack. Almost all of us have some kind of backpack sitting around the house. Grab a backpack, put some books in it, and go for a walk inside or outside and see what you think. You don't have to buy fancy equipment to ruck, ever. I did buy some fancy equipment, but it was once I realized that I liked it and I wanted to do it. But also, I love backpacks. I will use any excuse to buy a backpack. So buying a Rucking bag was super fun. Okay, so you have your backpack, you put some canned food or books or some weight plates or something in it, 5 to 10% of your body weight, and then you want to wear it in your mid to upper back. So don't get a backpack so big that the weight is sitting on your lower back. Try to get a small backpack so it sits in your mid to upper back, or if your backpack is big, maybe put lighter things on the bottom and then put the weights on the top. A hip belt for comfort is really nice, but not necessary. The shoulder straps should be snug but not tight. If you notice any numbness or tingling in your arms or shoulders, it's too tight, loosen it. If it hurts, any sharp pains, loosen it. You should feel worked out after rucking, but not beat up. Okay, so you got your backpack on, you're gonna go for a walk, and you're gonna shoot for zone 2 cardio. Zone 2, there's a formula you can do to figure out where your heart rate range is for zone 2. But the shorthand way to do it is just to walk at a conversational pace where you can carry on a conversation even if you're kind of winded. Listen to me walking and talking here, and you can see that I can carry on a conversation while I'm talking to myself in the camera, but I can carry on a conversation, but I'm taking more breaths in between than I normally would. That's like a zone 2 pace. Okay, I could have done with some ear warmers. 55 degrees. I'm a little chilly around here. So that level of effort is what you want to reach. It's low and steady. And when you're doing this with rucking, you're not having to deal with the overwhelming recovery of high impact cardio. The ideal frequency for rucking is 3 to 5 days a week, which feels really perfect for me because I strength train 2 to 3 days a week. And so I can ruck on my not strength training days. I just started rucking a couple of weeks ago. I'm still using a 10-pound weight in my backpack. I'm not planning on going up because I'm still really solidly getting into that zone 2 cardio. I feel tired in my legs, but not in pain after the workouts. I definitely feel more tired and more worked out than just going on a walk. I feel like I did a hard workout, but I was just going on a walk. I don't know why I didn't discover this sooner. I'd heard about it, but it wasn't really on my radar as something that I wanted to do. I kind of associated it with the military, and I'll tell you why. You know how I love backpacks? Well, the best rucking bags are made by a company called GoRuck, which was founded by a retired Special Forces veteran. And GoRuck bags are bomb-proof. And although I have a collection of backpacks that I love, I have said before, when I've been nerding out with other backpack nerds, oh, I'll never need a GoRuck bag. Those are too much for me, I'm not Special Forces. Well, my rucking bag is a GoRuck bag. And let me tell you, that thing is tough. It makes me feel like maybe I could be Special Forces when I put it on. I have some really pretty backpacks, and honestly, if I wanted to just put some books in those and go on a walk, it's totally fine. So the whole aspect of me buying a special backpack and buying a special weight plate to go in it is totally just me having toys. You don't need to do that. I fully realize I have a backpack problem. If you start rucking and you get to a point where whatever weight you're wearing becomes really easy, there's a few ways to progress. One is to increase the duration, so take slightly longer walks. And the other one is to increase the intensity by walking faster or finding more hills or small weight increases. I wouldn't do all of those at the same time or even 2 of them at the same time. I would add one and see how it feels. There's not a rush to increase any of these until you really feel like, okay, I need a challenge again. And like I said, I'm totally not there. I'm not in a rush. My word of the year for 2026 is consistency. So I just want to keep doing this consistently. The sun just came out. I'm not going all extreme on this. I've got 10 pounds in my backpack and I'll see how my body gets used to that. I think that's plenty to start with. I'll keep you posted on the rucking. I'm working on a video right now about meal prepping, so look for that next week. Thanks for joining me. Bye! That puppy keeps looking back. It wants to be friends. I want to be friends with you too, puppy. Bye!